Hello and welcome to another spiritual learning video. Today we're going to learn about the New Age movement. What is it? Spirituality is an overarching term that encompasses religion and spiritual practices, along with a person's connection to a deity, higher power, or something that's simply larger than they comprehend. Within the realm of spirituality, there is also a movement called New Age spirituality, also known as the New Age movement. What is the New Age movement and how does it fit under the umbrella of spirituality? The New Age movement encompasses different spiritual practices outside of the major fundamentalist religions. It promotes heightened spiritual awareness, intuition-based thinking, and a peaceful connection to others and nature. There are no texts, memberships, or initiations into this form of practice, as this form of spirituality is highly individualized. New Age spirituality spread through the religious and spiritual communities in the 1970s and 80s as a response to the civil rights movement and arrest across the globe. During this time, the United States faced violent uprisings, protests against discrimination, racism, and the aftermath of the Vietnam War. Simultaneously, spiritual folks believed a planetary shift called the Age of Aquarius would usher in a new era of thought. The followers, otherwise known as New Age seekers, felt the new era or the new age would bring peace to the earth. The followers thought it would give folks a glimpse into the future of a new world that would leave the negative behind, allowing everyone to move forward together with hope and positivity. While racism, prejudice, and violence still exist today, many feel this transition is still occurring and that over time, the planet can be healed. However, the movement itself died out, but many New Age seekers and spiritual practitioners still believe that the Age of Aquarius and the transition to a new age is still upon us. New Age seekers are those who follow the New Age movement. At its inception, the world was in a state of turmoil, and many were looking for solace and peace. The original practitioners were looking for a spiritual way to make sense of the world and find peace and hope within themselves. Using New Age practices, they cultivated a more peaceful way of living and an elevated conscious experience. While many still use New Age practices to explain the who, what, where, when, and why of the universe, many also use these practices to maintain all types of health and wellness. They also push for social reform, connect to their form of source, become a balanced individual. For this group, the reward is not heaven or the afterlife. The reward is gifted in the here and now. New Age spirituality is the byproduct of what once was the New Age movement. After dying out in the early 90s, there were still believers and practitioners who brought into this alternative form of religious spiritual practice and carried on with this form of ritual. New Age spirituality has emerged in the recent decades that encompasses much of what was promoted within the New Age movement, but extends beyond the Age of Aquarius. Many folks who practice New Age spirituality feel a new earth is emerging, just like the older movement focused on a new era. Many use the same tools to practice and channel their information from what they believe is an ultimate source. However, many today feel that the new earth means a new truth or mysteries that will be unveiled in the process. Major religions, such as Judaism or Hinduism, you may not know the specifics of what that religion stands for, but you do know that there are at least some specifics that set them apart. Most major religions have a set of rules, laws, and beliefs that everyone who subscribes to that religion all share. That's, for all intents and purposes, what is defined as religion. Now, what if I were to tell you that there's a religion that has no definitive holy texts, central organization, dogma, or membership? Could we even consider this a religion? Well, perhaps not. Instead, it all falls under the umbrella of spirituality. New Age spirituality is a less vigorous form of religion and instead is a more flexible form of spirituality in which people pick and choose certain beliefs and practices that satisfy their need to make sense of this complex world. People who subscribe to this flexible form of spirituality are known as New Age seekers, who have formed as a part of a larger event known as the New Age movement. All of humankind desires to achieve some sort of goal, whether it be health, security, wealth, social status, or something else. In the pursuit of these goals, humans look for ways to achieve these goals and things that may prevent them from being achieved. Successful explanations are definite and straightforward to follow, like recipes or instructions. However, when a reward is hard or even impossible to get within the natural world, humans often imagine ways to seek it that involves supernatural forces, realms, or being, like the concept of divine beings and heaven. According to the dictionary, a seeker is a person who tries to find something by searching for it. A seeker is an individual who is actively looking to discover and use spiritual truths with the intention of living a richer, happier, and more meaningful life. Not everyone who lives on this planet is a seeker. There are also millions of people who could be described as adopters. Adapters are individuals who, when considering the big questions of life, choose to adapt a set of answers that are offered by a particular religion or philosophy, instead of spending time thinking about the questions for themselves. There's also those called abstainers, and these are people who have absolutely no interest whatsoever in so-called spiritual matters. Seekers are quite different from both of these, neither blindly adopting the truth of any existing religion, nor deliberately abstaining from investigating spiritual matters for themselves. None of these three are superior to each other in any way. When it's all said and done, the vast majority of human beings are simply doing the best that they can to live their lives in the most effective way they know how. Thank you for watching another spiritual learning video. Please check out our spiritual learning playlist for more. We'll see you again soon.